Two things can be true at the same time. You can be struggling with porn habits and still be enough. You can struggle with addiction and your worth is still 100%. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the lie that your worth has to be earned. Welcome to the Inner Revolution, where everybody here in this community is trying to achieve the same thing, and that is change. Trying to become the person that you are meant to be. And so if this is something that you want, go ahead and drop a follow, hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. If you're on podcast, so YouTube, Apple Podcast, what are the other places? Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts. Anyway, drop a follow. I know it's not called subscribe there. But you can also leave a comment down below of future episodes that you want me to cover. Anything related to pornography, addiction, anxiety, depression, anything mental health related, I'll go ahead and cover it for you. So before we jump in, I do want to thank our sponsor for this episode, which is Anovo Counseling and Wellness. Man, and I realize I'm really shaking the table. I need to relax. We're not having an earthquake in here, it's just me. But shout out to Anovo. Anovo is a clinic based here in Utah who specializes in sex addiction, betrayal trauma, self-worth, and they also do lie detection. So if you are looking for a therapist, if you are looking for a coach to really help you push beyond the next level to help you become the person that you want to be, then you can go ahead and schedule a session down below in the link in the description, and you can take a look at my calendar and we'll get you on the books. Okay, so how does porn and worth, how are those two related? I could never guess. Now you could take this as, with any addiction, but porn use in general has been moralized into this identity problem. I need to stop, I need to take my hands off the table. I am shaking it too bad. So behavior can quickly become an identity, right? We can relate our behavior to who we are. And I think that's totally normal. But I think that the way we look at it is simply incorrect. You hear things a lot like, my behavior is who I am. So you hear things like, I am an addict, I am depressed, I am anxious. All of those different I am statements, right? We are relating our behavior or our actions to who we are or to who you are as an actual person. So when you look at pornography, you might commonly say things like, oh man, I messed up, rather than I made a mistake, right? You have the I am, so you are identifying with your overall behavior. Now, the important part here is that this belief can feel true, but it doesn't mean that it is. You don't have to believe everything that you feel. Remember, it's not that deep. You are not broken and your worth has not changed. If you remember a couple episodes ago, well, a big handful of episodes ago, I think now, titled You Are Worthless, we talk about the differences between self-esteem and self-worth, and I think my view and perspective on that has changed a little bit. But we talked about in that episode, your worth is 100%. There is nothing you can do that's going to change that, and I think you're going to get more of that, well, a lot more in this episode. There's more where that came from, baby. So first, when it comes to addiction, you need to understand how addiction is actually going to work. And I need to remember my microphone is like right there. And so when I look down, anyway. So you need to understand how addiction works. Okay, addiction is simply an adaptation. It's not this form of corruption that some people tend to think it is. If you're addicted to porn, congratulations. This means that your brain is working as it should. Man, even that moved. I need to back up a little bit. Your brain is doing what it's designed to do. Now, does that mean that it's helpful? No, absolutely not. Whenever you form a habit, it doesn't necessarily mean that that habit is going to be super helpful all the time for you. Take any addiction, for example, right? Our brain likes to make it a habit or likes to become addicted to it to push you to act in that way, for example, with pornography, because it's adapted. And we'll talk more about that. But this is a good thing. This is great. I bring that up because it shows that you are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. Your brain's doing what it's supposed to do. Again, helpful? No. Working as designed? Yes. And sure, you could make the argument saying, well, the brain was never meant to handle pornography, and so therefore it's actually not doing what it's supposed to do. And we could get more into that. But the brain is designed to try and help you, well, first, to make sure that you survive. That's its whole thing. And so if you're feeling low, if dopamine levels are low, serotonin levels are low, it's going to try and do everything that it can to get back up to that point so you keep moving forward, so you don't just sit there all day and do nothing. Although that's what pornography can end up making you do. And so we can get into this whole thing. But your brain, at the end of the day, is doing what it's supposed to. It's reacting to this stimulus. It's rewarding you for achieving certain things, whether it's helpful or not. And you can have certain predispositions that make you more vulnerable to certain addictions. But does that mean that you're broken or flawed? No, I don't think it does. The brain is going to be learning certain patterns based off of things like relief, regulation, escape, and or connection, or all of those things. And porn often meets a lot of those legitimate needs in an illegitimate way through soothing, escape, comfort, and regulation. So over time, after repeated action, the brain is going to repeat what works even if there's a cost to it, right? So again, it's going to adapt and change and create patterns and habits, all in an attempt to make your life easier. Does that mean it's going to be helpful? No. But again, it's doing what it's supposed to. You are not broken. You are not flawed. This has nothing to do with you having a different brain than another person who's not struggling with any type of addiction. All this means is that you have simply adapted. If addiction is learned, then healing is also learned. So let's talk about shame for a minute. Shame is not this amazing motivator that we have. It's a threat response. Now, follow me here on this one. Shame is going to be activating, it activates your fight, flight, or freeze response. Think about for a minute when you feel shame. What do you normally do? You can have generally one of three actions, and you can see where I'm going with this. Are you the type of person that wants to leave the room when you feel shame? You run away. Are you the type of person that gets really aggressive and all up in people's faces when you feel embarrassed or shame? Or are you the type of person that just shuts down right then and there? You stop talking. So you either flight, fight, or freeze. See what I'm saying? The fight, flight, or freeze response is designed for survival. It's designed for protection. So when your body feels shame in any way, no matter if it's coming from someone else or coming from yourself, the body feels like it's under attack. And so you can react different ways to shame. So just think for a minute, pause the video and think, when the last time when you felt shame most recently, what did you do? And generally, I think you'll come to find it's one of those three things. If it's not, let me know. I don't know what else you could do at that point when you do feel shame that wouldn't fit into any three of those categories. So let me know down below if you're built different, which you very well could be, you beast you. And so this can create this cycle of pornography use or addiction use in general, right? Shame increases stress, and when you feel a bunch of stress, your body creates this desire to feel relieved from that stress. And so porn becomes the quickest regulator of that. I've said several times on the show that porn is the best at what it does. Does that mean it's good, helpful? No, it doesn't. But it is the best tool at what it does. It can spike your dopamine beyond most actual drugs that you can get in the quickest way, and it's all in your pocket, or it's on this device that you're listening to or watching this right now. It's pretty crazy, which, I mean, you know that, or you wouldn't be probably listening to this episode to begin with. So shame doesn't make you stronger. It makes your body desperate. Desperate for love, desperate for relief, desperate to know that you are not broken and that your worth is 100%. It can't change, regardless of what you try and do. Now let's talk about worth for a minute. Worth is not behavior dependent. Does this mean that you can watch porn all day long, baby, 24/7, have a gooning session, as the kids would say, just edge all day to porn, and still have your worth be 100%? Oh yeah, 100%. Yes, that's not going to change your worth in any way. Now, if you're thinking of this as an excuse to now go watch porn, I think you're definitely missing the point here. Once you can fully understand that no matter what you do, you will always be enough, everything is going to change for you. There is nothing you or anyone else can do, say, or think that will change who you are as a human being. Because that's exactly who you are, a human being. You're not a human doing. Your value or your worth isn't dependent on what you do. It's not dependent on your behavior. It's dependent on who you are, and that's a human being. You don't have to do anything for that. You just have to be. And what you're doing right now is enough. You are being. You are, period. Now, when you realize that your worth is 100%, and there's nothing that can change that, you need to ask yourself a question. What do you actually want? Because you are allowed to choose pornography. You are allowed to stay in addiction. But is that the life you want? You've got to move from this idea of, oh man, I have to stop or I'm bad, I'm a bad person, to I want something better for myself. I know that I can achieve more, and I want that. I want to achieve what I am meant to be, what I'm meant to do. I want to achieve that person who I am meant to be and who I'm meant to become. Shame says things like, uh-oh, dude, hey, don't do this, or else. Whereas worth says, what kind of life do you want to build? Because everything is possible for you. Because your worth can't change. It's not based off of what you do. And when you come to understand that, oh man, it frees up so much space and so much energy. And that brings me to my next part. Your healing is going to drastically accelerate when your identity is no longer under attack. When your worth is stable, when you know, like, okay, no matter what it is that I do, my worth is 100%. I could have all of these slips, blah, 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 but nothing's going to change who I am. When you understand that, your slips don't become spirals. You don't just go and have a sad boy hours session for hours and hours and hours. Your honesty increases. Curiosity replaces self-punishment, and you stop fighting yourself and start actually understanding yourself. You're able to take a step back during urges and realize, hold on a minute, what am I actually experiencing? What am I feeling right now? Rather than immediately jumping to this conclusion of, oh my gosh, why am I having this urge? I'm such an idiot, I'm broken, I'm worthless, I'm an addict, all of these things. You can realize that, hey man, it's really not that deep. You can take a step back and look at this for what it is, because it's not about you. It's not about who you are. It's about what you're experiencing, sure, and that's real, right? It's real, but it doesn't affect who you are as a person. When you're constantly beating yourself up, that just drains your energy, dude. So imagine not having to waste any energy on that ever again. Does this mean that recovery is going to be like all hunky-dory now that you know your worth is never going to change? No, it's not. But it sure as heck helps. So this week, Instead of saying, oh, what is wrong with me? I want you to say, what was I trying to feel? What do I actually need? Because there is nothing wrong with you. You've simply adapted to what life has thrown at you. And this doesn't mean it's always helpful. But the good thing about this all is that you can change. You can become this person that you've always wanted to be. If this person you want to be doesn't have porn in their life, then let's make it happen. You can do it. You can. And you have to believe that while continually making value-based actions while you keep trying to believe that this is something you can achieve. So know this, you are not broken. You are not behind. You are not disqualified from this running of life. You are someone learning how to live. Two things can be true at once. You can want change, and you can be enough as you are right now. You guys rock. Thanks for listening. I know this is more of a shorter episode, but I really hope that it's helped you start to understand and see that, man, you're worth it. You're worth it 100%. You are enough. You can change, and you're enough. And so if you decide to stay as you are and not do anything else, that is okay. That's who you are, and you are enough. That's enough. But you can also become who you want, regardless of how hard it's going to be, regardless of how long it's going to take. You can do it. And I believe in you. You can do it. You guys are great. Talk to you next week. Peace out.